Hey guys, looks like we got 0 people that showed up to the meeting today, so congratulations. So I'm gonna give you this video. A couple things I want you guys to imagine. I wanted to kind of walk you guys, through this to say like, what would it look like if 1,000 lives were changed? I want you to think about that for a minute. What if we impacted 1,000 lives through H3? What if 10 years down the road, we look at where we're at, look at all that we've done, look at the hard work, the difficulty, the challenges, the balancing, and the end result was there was 1,000 lives that were touched by H3. What would that mean for you? What would that mean for the community? What would it mean for people's personal lives, personal souls, personal dreams? And I want us to imagine that because, for me, that's what excites me, something big, something that makes me a little nervous, something that gets my blood pumping a little bit. Um, but to have that kind of impact would just be amazing. And I want us to dream about that. I want us to take down the walls of, I don't know, I don't think we could pull that off. And I want us to just set aside any preconceptions. I want us to set aside any fears. I want us to set aside any doubts and just to dream what it would mean to have 1,000 H3 people across the whole United States, maybe the world. I don't know. But that excites me. That's something that I think is worthy of doing, to have impacted, poured into 1,000 lives for H3. And that's what I'm kind of visioneering through right now. I'm not saying I have the answer yet, but I'm trying to think of the end game of all this, like how many people's lives that we want to touch and impact, so that they can grow in their leadership and their impact and their influence for the kingdom. So that's all I wanted to talk to you about today to kick off. I want us to talk a little bit about just some onboarding. There's 4 things that we need to focus on right now. And we got to sort of all hands on deck right now to get this done. Finish the education curriculum. We've done that. I think we need to tweak that. I know Ryan's working on that. To complete it, to make it nice and tight, make it super excellent, professional, so that we have these packets to give people when they first come in. So that is charge number 1. So I'd like to have us all kind of help with that. I know Ryan's taken the baton on most of it. The second thing is I want to order the books. Now, I said the way of the shepherd. Honestly, I've changed my mind on this. So I'm actually doing that right now, that I want us to get books called Leadership 2.0 by John Maxwell. So I can take the baton on that to get us books. We're probably gonna have 6 people-ish, give or take. They're gonna jump on board for the new recruits. We'll have that in some sort of, let the ladies kind of figure that out, box, bag, what are we going to do there? And, something to put it in the shirt. I know that Zach is working on that right now, getting some nice high-end polo shirts for us to be able to have and to give to somebody when they come on. And, just I want us to kind of talk about just future communication. There's a lot of bugs that we have to kind of work through with respect to like having 2 videos that we want to have for recruiting going forward. One is sort of a cultural, emotional, experiential, video that kind of gives people that excitement of what this is all about. More high level. The second one is going to be more informative. So that's going to give a lot of the layout, the specifics, some of the things that, all the questions like FAQ sheet, how much is it? How often do we meet? What's the expectations? what's the culture? So it just answers a bunch of those sheets. So I think if you guys can help Ryan whittle that down, we're going to make 2 videos professionally so that when we do this again, we're going to have that as part of the communication. And then really whittling down things like when we first have the names, having a very clear process to say the person's going to call, let them know that you were nominated for this, and we need everybody to fill out an application. So we're kind of getting applications out up front. If they say yes, if they say no, that they're not interested, that's okay too. And they'll also be given those videos up front so they can kind of understand the scope of what we're doing and what the ask is. What'll happen from there is then the committee will then obviously divide and conquer those people and have those 10, 15-minute conversations, just get a feel for them. And then we'll pull back and decide on the number that we want. We'll have a very clear criterion so people can kind of understand what we're looking for. And then we can stack hands on that and then set appointments and things like that. And then we'll have a real clear way to try to make it consistent, but the people have the scripts to walk through, and the people that don't make it, just to be able to have like a real gracious way to sort of say, don't have enough room this year, but perhaps down the road. So we'll probably need some help on that, just working through some of those things, because again, we sort of plan, do, and then we review. And so I'm almost in that review mode of starting to get a little feedback on here. Pathways presentation, just so you guys know, one of the things that Ryan and I have worked on is a specific document that we call pathways. In the folder, just so you guys know, and I'm going to pull it up here, I've made this document that is probably a little psychotic for some of you, but that's the way my mind works. So we have these pathways, okay? So if you kind of look at the life cycle of somebody coming on, what happens is I've broken this down. I'm not going to go through all the details. You can kind of read through it, but I need us to all stack hands on it and say, yes, we agree with this, or if there's tweaks, I'm open to poking holes at it. But, this is the pathway: meet new recruits, move in the new recruits. Then there's all the steps, right? Mentor assignment. Then there's the monthly meetings for people. Then there's the mentor meetings that people will have, the outreach project that takes place. So you kind of think about this as almost sort of the beginning year, okay? This person finishes Leadership 1.0. So they get the certificate, we set up a dinner at the end of the year for it, and then we have a celebration at the end of the year, okay, for those people that went through. That year 2, they join a head up committee. They will co-chair an outreach event, run a monthly meeting. They'll mentor a mentee, and then they complete Leadership 2.0 at the end of the year. Same thing, make a certificate, have a dinner, et cetera, et cetera. We roll into year 3. They become kind of a chair member or head up a new committee. They mentor a mentee, obviously, work on the outreach, completion of 3.0. So that's year 3, okay, celebration as well. Launch a chapter. Obviously, this is where things kind of could peel off. They can either launch a new chapter, they have all the knowledge, start to understand how things work. They can be a part of a strategic planning, could be the other peel off, as well, sort of this more high level strategic planning. And then they complete year 4, okay? So people are sort of moving up, kind of getting to a higher level strategic leadership orientation. And then what Ryan and I talked about, we're still kind of trying to figure this out, but his year of rest is in year 5, could be an option of either like we want someone to take a rest for a year. I think that might be healthy for people to just kind of have a mandatory rest for a year. Ryan also had the other thought of like, maybe we want to give them the option to continue. I'm just trying to think of something healthy to have some balance, some sort of shared rest. We invite them back on the council, year 6. And then this is where it gets a little bit more high level, but these are the thoughts. Join a vision casting team in year 6. Kind of learning how to vision cast for the growth. Join a local board, okay. Join a national board, year 8. Become a platinum board member, gold board member, and then graduate as become an emeritus sort of in year 10, okay. So that's kind of the life cycle that we've thought through. There's some particulars below these. I'd really like Hannah and Ariel just give some feedback, some comments within the next week, because we want to really tighten this up, because this is really the pathway that we're going to be working on, off of, I should say, as we build this H3 model out at the end of the day. Okay, so that's sort of the pathways that we need to get some hand stacking on from you guys, if you don't mind. Your smart minds. And then we just kind of thought, we were Ryan and I were just brainstorming, and I don't know why it just came up, but we sort of had this tagline thing where we said platform, process, people. Seems like those 3 things really, I don't know, button up a little bit of what we're doing, but I could be off, might be a little too stoic. But platform, this is a leadership platform, right? There's a specific process to it that we're taking people through to get there. And then people, right? It's those 3 things that really make up H3. Process, platform, process, people. So could be 3P. I mean, we could sort of play with that, but we would just obviously want to get some feedback from you guys, if you could do that as well. And then I want to talk about November, December. So this is really relational deepening. We talked about that. There's 2 components that I want to focus on in November and December. Obviously, October, we're doing sort of the celebratory, onboarding thing, which we really need to kind of get some of your smart insight on with respect to, like, what does that look like? How do we make it really exciting and fun? Do we have some food? Do we have, people come up and introduce themselves? We want to make it super exciting, super engaging, make them feel super welcome. Hannah, you're amazing at that. So are you, Ariel. So maybe you guys could kind of think of some ideas. But on the relational deepening side, November, December, I want you guys to think about this idea of soul care. So just we want to have a place. Ryan and I talked about this. I think setting will be a big deal. Might even be something in the evening. I mean, I don't know, but somewhere where there's maybe a fire, maybe it's outside, maybe it's out by a golf course. I don't know, but I'd like some help with that, just to make the environment correct. And then we're going to have very intentional ways that we're just letting them learn how to listen, share what's really going on in their heart, struggles, okay, and not fixing anything. So this is where people get to grow in their leadership skills, form their soul with respect to compassion and asking questions and not trying to fix it, but just really growing in that listening and connection and deepening. I think that will bind us together deeper. And so I want you to kind of think about, that's going to be really relational. There might be some food, hors d'oeuvres, things like that, but it'll be super relational. And obviously as leaders, we're going to have to be the ones to be a little bit more vulnerable, and just to help people have some courage to kind of open up. That's a big deal. And I think that will be super connecting for us. And if people love it. Problem solution. Okay, we've done this before. I think we could even elevate it more, to have really a time in December where we can really do kind of maybe a relational deepening by helping solve a problem. Maybe there's somebody personally, professionally wants to address 2 or 3 people in a meeting. And I think we could do that maybe in December. And that could just be a regular cadence for us. And then even December, I think, just be fun for us to have like a dinner together, and just some time to, rest, relax, connect. I don't do that very well, so I need your help. And so that's really what I think is healthy for the group. I think it's connecting for the group, and I think it's soul deepening. So love to hear back on that. And then cadence committees. I think that what we want to do is probably have go back to the original plan on the cadence for the timing. So we do, we essentially do this notion of planning for, I think I said February, something like that, because I know March, April, May, we're doing, more of the sort of fundraising. So I think that's when we shift over committees, do some clarifying there. But I think what we'll do is we need to prepare to have the committees really meeting the first Thursday of every month, just so they can do their thing, upscale it, or move the information to executive council for us, so that we can be prepared to have that discussion, whatever's going on at each particular committee, for planning purposes. So, and just to keep that cadence. So let me know what you guys think. I care about you guys. Thanks for showing up. And just let me know, the thoughts. So again, takeaway, probably need some, Ryan's got the curriculum. I will order the books for Leadership 2.0. If you guys can kind of think about how do we present that? Is it a bag? Hannah, Ariel can help on that. And then we'll sort of have a separate meeting next month for just, communication for the onboarding. Pathways, I need you guys to let me know if you're on board with this, or questions, or even pushback. I'm open to it. Let me know what you think about the tagline. And then let me know your thoughts on relational deepening, soul care, problem solution. And then, cadence committees is kind of something I think we'll pick up on. So that's sort of task oriented right now. So if you could watch this, let me know what you think, and appreciate all you guys do. And I know I'm probably pushing us pretty hard, and feels a little weighty sometimes. I get it. And so thank you for your hard work. I know it's a lot. But I think we're doing the hard work right now, and then it's going to sort of get into as many hands make light work, as my mom used to say. So, it's going to get a little bit smoother as we're just doing a big push. So I value you. I appreciate you guys. Couldn't do it without you, and care about you. So thanks, guys.